Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Formula making of an ionic compound is one of the basic concepts of O-level chemistry. There are few simple steps by which we can make formula of an ionic compound. Let's start. What is the formula of a compound? Actually, formula of a compound is a set of symbols of elements. As here we are going to discuss formula of an ionic compound, we must know how ionic compound is formed. When metal and non-metal combine, then we get ionic compound. There's a transfer of electron from metal to non-metal. Therefore, metal forms positive ion and non-metal forms a negative ion. To write the formula of a compound, we must know the valencies of elements. What is the valency of an element? It is the number of electrons gained or lost by an atom to complete its valence shell. It depends on the group number of the element in the periodic table. Here we are looking some groups and their valencies. So valency of group number 1 is 1. For group number 2 elements, it's 2. Valency number increases up to group number 4, and then it decreases. Group number 5 has valency 3. Group number 6 has valency 2, while 7 has 1 and 8 has 0, because the elements of group number 8 have complete their valence shell, so therefore they don't lose or gain electrons. Why group number 1 has valency of 1? Because it loses 1 electron. Group number 5 has already 5 electrons, so therefore it gains only 3 electrons, so its valence is 3. So we need to memorize these valences. So valences are very important to us. So because valences are needed to write in the process of making formula of an ionic compound. There are two types of ions actually. One is polyatomic and other is monatomic. So let's discuss what is an ion. Okay, so an ion is actually a charged particle. So there could be a positive or negative charge on an atom or a group of atom, then that is called ion. And if in an ion there is only one atom, then that ion is called a monatomic ion. So in the monatomic ion there is only one atom, while in the polyatomic ion there are more than one atoms. So on the left hand side in the table there are ions given, and these ions are polyatomic ions which normally appear in our exam papers. And the first ion here is hydroxide ion, and we need to memorize all the names and formulae and their charges along with their valences. So let's talk about hydroxide ion. So hydroxide ion, its formula is OH minus 1, and its charge is minus 1, and its valence is 1. So if we ignore the symbol, I mean, if we ignore the sign of the charge, then we get valency. Similarly, for nitrate, it's 1. So in this way, we can easily memorize all the valences of polyatomic ions, and then we can easily make the formula of an ionic compound. So let's make the formula of ionic compounds. For example, here first formula is sodium chloride. It's an ionic compound, and sodium's symbol is Na, and as Na belongs to group number 1, so its valence is 1. And chlorine, it also belongs to group number 7, so its valence is also 1. So now 1 and 1, these are the valences of sodium and chlorine. These are already simplified numbers, so bring them down in the cross form. So we got the formula NaCl. So similarly, let's talk about magnesium chloride. Symbol of magnesium is Mg, and Mg is present in group number 2, so its valence is 2, and Cl's valence is again 1 because it's present in group number 7. So these are again simplified numbers, so bring them down. So we'll be getting the formula MgCl2. So next formula which we are going to discuss is calcium oxide. So what is the symbol of calcium? Calcium is Ca and oxide mean O. Calcium belongs to group number 2, so its valency is 2. Oxygen belongs to group number 6, its valency is also 2. So these both valency number can be divided by number 2. So we'll be getting 1 and 1. So now the number 1 and 1, bring them down. So our formula is calcium oxide's formula is CaO. So let's talk about now barium sulfate. So barium belongs to group number 2, so its valency is 2. Sulfate's formula is SO4. It's one of the polyatomic ion and its valency is again 2. Both valencies can be simplified, so we'll be getting 1 and 1. So our formula is barium sulfate, BaSO4. So now let's talk about ammonium phosphate. Ammonium is polyatomic ion, its valency is 1. Phosphate is another polyatomic ion and its valency is 3. So these are simplified numbers and just bring down, and as with the ammonium we need to write 3 and 3 is greater than 1, so we need to use brackets, because whenever an ion is polyatomic and the number which is needed to be right with it is greater than 1, then we use brackets. So now, and there is no need to use bracket with the phosphate because the number coming with the phosphate is 1. So our formula is ammonium thrice phosphate. So in the similar way we can write the formula of other ionic compounds. So in my worksheet, so here we can say below down there are some compounds, but before that there are steps which have been followed to write the formula of these ionic compounds. So now we can write the formula of these ionic compounds which are given in below table for our practice. So do practice to write the formula of these ionic compounds, and after that you can check your answer from this table. This is the solved one.
If you find this video useful, share with others.